So there is one question. Explain the powers
Okay.
and functions of Revenue Appellate Tribunal. So when we say Appellate Tribunal, as in it's like a higher body, right? Like we say, right, from subordinate court, appeals are filed in high courts, Supreme Courts, like that. It is a higher body that we have, Revenue Appellate Tribunal. Okay, so what are their powers and what are their functions? Chapter 4, Sections 40 to 48 of Karnataka Land Revenue Act 1964 provides for constitution and powers of Revenue Appellate Tribunal. Who all will be there, how it will be constituted, and what are its powers and functions. So, Constitution and powers and functions of Karnataka Revenue Appellate Tribunal. Section 40, Clause 1 of Karnataka Land Revenue Act says that the state government is having the power. Okay, state government is having the power to constitute an appellate tribunal, and name of this tribunal will be Karnataka Revenue Appellate Tribunal, and this tribunal would function for the state of Karnataka. Okay, so you need to remember state government is given the power to constitute Karnataka Revenue Appellate Tribunal. Now, what it will consist of? Who all will be there? So, it will consist of 6 members. Again, because state government is having the power to constitute it, state government is going to appoint these people also. So, who all are there here? It is one chairman who shall be the officer of the rank of regional commissioner. His designation would be similar to that of regional commissioner. He will be known as chairman of the Karnataka Revenue Appellate Tribunal. Along with him, 5 other members will also be there. Who all these 5 members will be? 3 of whom shall be persons who are district judges, and the others shall be officers having experience in administration of revenue matters, not below the rank of deputy commissioner. So DCs are there, right? So similar to their rank, there will be 2 persons who will be expert in administration of revenue matters, and there will be 3 other persons who are district judges. Okay, so this is the strength. 5 members, 1 chairperson or 1 chairman. 5 members, out of these 3 will be district judges and 2 will be people having experience in administration of revenue matters, and they will be similar in rank like a deputy commissioner, not below deputy commissioner. The strength of this tribunal can be increased by government by way of notification if there is an increase in business of the tribunal. It might happen that for 6 people, it's difficult to manage all the work that they are getting. Maybe too many applications, too many appeals revisions are being filed, a lot of work they are having. In such cases, if government feels needed, government can increase the strength also by way of notification. So as of now, this is the strength of Karnataka Revenue Appellate Tribunal. Okay, then what are its powers and functions? What are the powers and functions of this tribunal? The powers of the tribunal shall be exercised by a bench of 2 members, of which one shall be district judge and another one having experience in administration of revenue matters. So when we talk about bench, what bench means in terms of court?
Group of judges.
Correct. Group of judges who are deciding or who are hearing one single matter. So here it would be like a combination. One district judge will be there and one person having experience in administration of revenue matters. So this will be the bench. The chairman may constitute a full bench of 3 members if he thinks fit. If needed, there may be 2 judges also and one person having experience in administration of revenue matter. Like that also it may be constituted. So 3 judges is like the full bench, full strength of the bench. 3 members also may be constituted if the chairman feels that it is needed in certain situation. Notwithstanding these rules of bench constitute a single member of the tribunal, powers of the tribunal. So sometimes single member bench also may be constituted. The tribunal shall exercise such powers of appeal, reference or revision as vested by or under this act or any other. whatever powers are given to this appellate tribunal in terms of appeal, reference, revision, etc. Or maybe if anything is given under some different act also, all of that this tribunal is going to use or exercise. The state government may confer on the tribunal any appellate or revisional power or function, and the tribunal shall discharge such functions also. So if state government feels this certain power also needs to be given to them, that also can be given, and the tribunal will have to perform that function also, whatever is assigned by the government. Okay, now what are its powers or functions? Power of review. Section 44. The tribunal has power to review any order passed by itself, either on its own motion, that is suo motu. Suo motu means by its own self, not like the parties are filing a case or something like that. They themselves can review whatever order or decision they have passed, or on an application by affected party. If someone else has filed there, also they can review it and pass suitable order. So sometimes it might happen that there is some mistake while passing an order, some numbers might be, some printing mistake, some typo, whatever it is, right? If they have themselves realized or parties have filed an application, they will review that order or decision and they will correct it. They will pass suitable orders. Many times it happens that when we talk about this revenue matters, right? Numbers, figures, calculations should be there. So maybe they have mentioned this is the amount, this is the amount, this is the amount. While making the total of it, there might be some like some problem, right? It might be incorrect number mentioned, some typographical error might be there. In such situations, it will go for review. But such powers can be exercised only when the tribunal is satisfied that there has been discovery of new and important matter or evidence was not in knowledge of the party or could not have been produced by him at the time of passing order, or there has been some mistake or error apparent on the face of record, or there has been any other sufficient reason. Like I mentioned, three numbers are mentioned and then sum total it is incorrect. It's very much well evident from the order itself, right, that there is a mistake in the calculation. So that can be corrected because there is some mistake or there is some error. Okay, then sometimes it may happen that some important matters, okay, or some evidences were not produced at the time when order was passed. Maybe appellate tribunal passed an order, but at that point in time, some of the important information or some evidences were missing, or maybe parties were not aware of it, or might be parties were not in a position to present it before the court. So in such cases, or also the order is not correct, right? Because certain important things were being ignored. So there also they can go for review. Or apart from this, also if there is any other reason wherein it is satisfied, wherein the tribunal is satisfied, there also it can go for review. Okay, so if any important matter or evidence was being ignored, or there is discovery of any new or important matter, there it can go for review. If there is mistake or error which is very much clear from the face of record, by looking at the order itself you can say there is some problem or there is some mistake, there also it can go for review, or any other sufficient reason if the tribunal is being satisfied. Okay, is it clear?
Clear.
So even if you are not able to remember all the sections yet, just try to remember this starting part, like this one, right? Section 40 to 48, it talks about powers and functions, like that you can remember.
Okay.
So next one is power to call for return, section 46. So return means an official report or statement submitted in response to a formal demand. So this power implies the power of superintendence of the tribunal over authorities which are subordinate to it. So there are certain authorities which are subordinate to this appellate tribunal. So it can ask that this certain report or this certain thing, it needs to be produced. Okay, so they can ask for statements which are submitted in response to formal demand, they can ask for its supply also. In regard to its appellate and revisional jurisdiction, the tribunal may call for returns from and also issue general directions to authorities subordinate to it and prescribe forms for regulating the practice and proceedings of such authorities. What should be done, how a certain thing is to be done, there also it can prescribe forms. Okay, and also it can issue some general directions, etc. So basically it's going to see or oversee the subordinate authorities which are there in terms of revenue matters which are subordinate to this appellate tribunal. But such directions and forms should not be inconsistent with provisions of any law. Just because it's an appellate tribunal, it cannot simply pass whatever directions, whatever orders it wants, but it should be in conformity with the law as well, which prevails or which is applicable. Okay, it cannot just like frame its own rules and regulations, etc. So it has power to call for returns. Return means official report or statement which are submitted in response to a formal demand, and this power implies power of superintendence. It will see that all these subordinate authorities are working fine. If not, it can pass some directions, it can issue some forms. This is how you should do this certain thing, this is how this certain thing is to be executed, like that. But all of those directions, all of those forms, it should be in accordance with the prevalent laws. Tribunal cannot just frame their own rules or regulations. Okay, is it clear? Power to call for
Okay.
reports.
Yes.
Next, we have power to make regulations. Section 48. So, Section 48 confers on the tribunal the power to make regulations and rules thereunder. What kind of regulations and rules it can frame? Its own practice and procedure, how the tribunal is going to function, how it is going to work, right? Regarding its practice and procedure, it can frame rules. Disposal of its business, cost incidental to any of its proceedings. So whatever its own internal functioning is with related to that, it can pass regulations or it can pass rules. Okay, that this certain matter, it can be heard by one member also. Maybe this certain matter can be heard by two members. For this certain matter, three members are needed, right? Like that, whatever is the procedural things, right? For that, they can frame their own rules and regulations. When we say they can pass their own rules and regulations, such rules and regulations must be consistent with the act and rules. So such regulations or rules, whatever they have passed, it must be in conformity with the Karnataka Revenue Act. Okay, they cannot simply frame whatever rules they want because it's a body established under the Act. So it has to abide by whatever provisions are there in the Act. Made after obtaining previous sanction from the government and and published in the official gazette. So they need to take permission from the government. They cannot simply frame whatever rules they want. And once some rules are being framed, it will be published in official gazette also. So it will be made public that this certain thing is being changed or this certain thing has applied. Okay, so all the procedural formalities, how you will approach the tribunal, how things will work there. Regarding that, if any changes are needed, there they have a power to make those rules and regulations as well. Okay, so that they can function smoothly.
Okay.
Okay, this is power to make regulations for their own function. Then we have power of revision, section 56. So power of revision is given under section 56. So section 56 confers on the tribunal, also on other revenue officials, the power to call for and examine a record of any inquiry or the proceedings of any subordinate officer for the purpose of satisfying itself as to legality uh, or propriety of the proceedings of such officer. So when we talk about revision, right? It means that whatever orders, etc., are passed by subordinate court, that is proper. Okay, so higher body is going to ensure that. So while ensuring it, the tribunal or maybe some other revenue officers can ask this subordinate officers that to submit this certain record of this certain inquiry or proceeding, because we want to see that this inquiry or proceeding was done properly. Okay, they will see whether it was proper or not, whether it was legal or not, whether all the rules and regulations were followed or not. So there they can exercise power of revision. Hence, if it appears to the tribunal that any decision or order which is passed by a subordinate officer should be modified, might be it is not valid, so they would call it as null and void, or maybe it needs to be changed or modified. It can do so by giving notice to the interested parties and giving them an opportunity of being heard. So they will be told that, see, this is the problem with this order, or this is the problem with this certain judgment. So we are going to make these changes. Parties will be given an option of being heard, and then changes can be made. Okay, this is power of revision. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So what is the difference between power of revision and power of review, the first one that we got?
Mm. I have to look, ma'am.
Okay.
Read again.
Okay, so when we talk about review, right, this applies in general also. When we talk about revisiting their own decision. Okay, review is always done by the same court. Okay, so if we are talking about the tribunal is having, this appellate tribunal is having, they are looking at their own decisions only. That maybe some new fact is being discovered, some fact or evidences were being ignored initially. Maybe there is some mistake, there is some error, there is some typo that they have come to know, or maybe for some other reason. Okay, here they are looking at their own decision only. Whatever the appellate tribunal has passed, there only some problem is there. They are correcting that mistake. That's review. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And when we talk about revision, it's like subordinate officers or subordinate tribunal has done something. And now, being the higher authority, being the appellate tribunal, they need to ensure that subordinate officer or subordinate tribunal has given a proper decision. If they feel that no, something is wrong, something is problem is there, they will ask the parties that you come, you appear before us, and they will correct the mistake. Okay, so revision is the lower court has done something, lower official has done something, they are going to correct it. Review is their own mistake. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Clear.
power to make regulation, as in for their own functioning, whatever rules, regulations they need, they can pass it with the permission of government by publishing in official gazette, and power to call for returns, which means an official report or statement that is submitted in response of formal demand. Like they would have the power of superintendence over the subordinate tribunals. Okay, their functioning, their things, they can issue some general directions, forms, etc. So they will basically take care of day-to-day functioning of their subordinate authorities also, their own functioning also. They can correct mistakes of lower authorities also, their own mistakes also. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Clear.